The Department of Homeland Security has bought 2 high-end private jets for Secretary Kristi Noem and others, and Democrats aren't too happy about it.
The Coast Guard, which contracted with Gulfstream Aerospace to procure the 2 G700 jets, says that they're replacing planes as old as 20 years old that had maintenance issues. Documents from a government procurement website show the total cost of the planes is more than $170 million.
The Coast Guard defended the purchase, saying the jets were necessary for Noem, DHS Deputy Secretary Troy Edgar, and top Coast Guard commandants. Admiral Kevin Lunday, acting Coast Guard commandant, said in a statement, quote, "The timing of this investment underscores the Coast Guard's vital need to modernize its command and control capabilities to meet today's rapidly evolving operational demands. As maritime activity increases and national security challenges grow more complex, maintaining reliable air mobility is essential to ensuring continuity of operations and mission success." In other words, a lot of platitudes there.
Some Democratic lawmakers are not too thrilled about this situation, as we mentioned. The House Homeland Security Committee ranking member Benny Thompson said in a statement, quote, "The fact that she, that's Noem, is doing it during a federal government shutdown while most of the DHS workforce is working without pay is completely vile. Such spending is blatantly immoral and probably illegal, and Congress must investigate. We said hell no to her request for a $50 million jet earlier this year, but now she went ahead with it anyway while quadrupling it." Congressman Rick Larson, a House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee ranking member, told Noem she should, quote, "cool her jets and fly commercial."
Sean Planky, a senior advisor to the Coast Guard Secretary, responded to Larson in a statement saying this is a matter of safety and mission readiness. It's well known that senior military officials and cabinet members need secure command and control and rapid long-range mobility. Flippant comments like this are great for clicks and fundraising emails, but don't reflect the reality of protecting the American people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. A lot of platitudes. All of these are just the most basic statements. Look, I don't have the ability to independently adjudicate whether these were necessary purchases or not. I am opposed to government spending. I'm opposed to reckless government spending. I'm just also opposed to all government spending, including necessary government spending. I don't know whether it was necessary or not. But, you know, Congress should be doing this appropriating of funds. So the fact that it's being done while Congress isn't at the top of its game makes it suspicious. So I probably share in the knee-jerk suspicions of Democrats here, and probably Republicans would too if it wasn't a partisan issue, because is this a and Gulfstream Air? What is the name of the company? They're probably
Gulfstream.
Really happy to get that contract.
Well, I actually went onto their website when I was researching this morning. This is their top-of-the-range jet, the flagship of their fleet. And so the New York Times says the total cost is $172 million for 2 of these planes. I see no reason to believe that that is in fact necessary or an important expenditure. Yes, it's important that government leaders get around in safety, but like, do we really need 2 brand new top-of-the-range private jets for that purpose? I'm enormously skeptical of that. There had been in the Coast Guard's budget, apparently, already, I think, $50 million set aside for maintenance of the existing planes. And so if any government official had done this, I would be suspicious. And when Kristi Noem does it, I'm particularly suspicious. There was a controversy earlier this year where she was living rent-free in an accommodation that is normally used by the top, I'm not sure if the correct rank is commandant, a senior person in the Coast Guard. She has previously come under criticism for using transport or travel at taxpayer expense for personal trips and things like that. She, of course, denies any wrongdoing, but it just smells very grifty to me.
I wish our government would channel a more thrifty spirit. I realized I started wearing my long winter overcoat again because it's gotten a little bit chilly, and I had torn the shoulder of it. It's a big ugly tear. I have not bought a new coat. I went back into my closet and found an older coat, more battered, and I'm just wearing that one instead. And I'm going to take the torn coat to a tailor and see if they can fix it, rather than just buy a new one. And if all of that fails, I will buy a new one. But that is the spirit our government should channel. Not just, let's get the newest, most expensivest thing that you're paying for and I'm paying for, you're paying for.
Yes.
Rather, let's see if we can do anything creative to avoid that cost.
I like that frugal Robbie is the template upon which the government should work from now on.
Very frugal.
I applaud you for your frugality with your coat as well. My favourite winter coat, the lining of it inside is completely torn up, but no one other than me is aware of that.
But
so
you can't, if you stuff a cell phone in it falls right out of
or gets lost in the weird space between the lining and the outside. Anyway, I'm not sure how we quite got onto winter coats, because the point is, I guess, Kristi Noem wanting these brand new jets. I think Democrats are right to criticise it. I do think it is politically insensitive to do it during a shutdown as well. So I think that sort of adds to the understandable outrage about this kind of thing.
Where are you at with the shutdown? Do you see any end in sight? You're a bit more, you pay somewhat more attention to the day-to-day happenings on Capitol Hill than I do?
Well, I might pay slightly more attention.
Well, when we're not forcing you to do double duty as a White House correspondent and also a host of the morning show here.
Well, my big confession is that I often find these congressional dramas a lot less exciting than a lot of my colleagues who do the congressional reporting do, because I think there's an enormous
readers and viewers don't find them very interesting either.
No, well, because there's an enormous amount of sort of performance about it, or choreography about it, or
Who's
posturing.
winning the shutdown? No one's winning it. It's not. No one's going to even remember it happened a few months from now.
Right, that is my view. Now, there was some word about it possibly ending this week. I think it was it wasn't the Speaker, but some Republican had indicated that might happen. I assume what will happen is what almost always happens in Congress, which is that after either side has decided that they've made their point sufficiently, they'll both bend a little bit and things will proceed on from there. I haven't seen even the financial markets or any particular sector of the economy being overly concerned about it yet, because once it reopens, people will presumably get paid. Now, the layoffs, federal layoffs, I think those are a genuine issue, but the mechanics or the performative nature of the shutdown itself.
Well, they're currently trying to find ways to pay the troops in the meantime.
Right.
And whether that's legal or not is kind of an open question.
And I think there's a finite pot of money you can use for it anyway, right? So I was actually speaking to a friend of mine who's in the military at the weekend, and she is still getting paid, but there is that question of will that can't continue in perpetuity in the absence of some sort of more fundamental deal.
Yeah, I think it's about time to wrap up the shutdown. That's what I suspect. It's honestly gone on longer than I thought it would, but no one seems to care.
Take down the tent and get the government back open again. I think we'd all like that.
Sadly, that will be the case. Next up on Rising, Charlemagne the God aired out some grievances about MSNBC with Nicole Wallace. Stay with us.